going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Viall Files Going Deeper edition. I'm your host, Nick, joined by the household of Allie, Genevieve, and Derek. The man is in Spain?
Spain or Ireland? We don't know which one.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. She is traveling the world, having a sabbatical. Our pop culture correspondent, Allie Joy, returns. She's with us. And our special guest for today, the one, the only friend of show, Wells Adam.
Yeah. Whoa.
Whoa,
dude.
I was thinking about like something else, some other compliment I want to say, and then I got caught up in my words.
I'm really upset that the show started the way it did because I've been watching all the clips and all the videos, and you didn't say, "Wells, how's your heart?"
Well, I haven't started yet.
I want to know. I want you to ask me about my heart.
Beat me to it.
I thought that's how it started. That's how all their videos go.
It does.
It's like someone sits down, they put on the headphones like dramatically.
We do that sometimes. Well, we do a little B-roll at the end. You know? But also, typically, our Going Deeper guests won't be in our intros.
Yeah.
But being the friend and the professional that you are, I figured we'd just give everyone as much Wells Adams
So this
as
is like
they
the
can
B
handle.
Squad show? Is this what I am?
No, I would say this is the A Squad show.
Oh, okay.
We like to think of all our programming as equal footing.
Okay.
This would be our flagship show.
Okay.
In
I
a way.
feel better.
Yeah. No, you're super important.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. How is your heart, Wells?
It's beating.
It's beating.
Yeah. I'm alive.
That's the.
Thank God.
That's what you came in to say.
Yeah. He's been waiting all this time.
I didn't think past the answer, like to the answer. I just wanted to be a part of the thing. And also,
Wells,
I've got nothing going on. Like
how
I'm
is
not.
your heart? Well, you just married two people.
I did.
You know,
It's
you,
full
you
of love.
created a union of love.
But if we're being honest, they were already married.
No, which Natalie and I have talked about the possibility of wedding
Yeah.
each other
At the courthouse.
But
prior
really,
to the birth of our daughter.
because on her birth certificate, it will say
Yeah.
that
Is
I
that
gave
true?
birth to her out of wedlock.
That she was
basically.
born in sin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that true, Allie?
Yes, this is what I've been
Like
told.
if people aren't married,
Wait, it says wedlock?
Will the
I don't know if it says wedlock.
will the birth certificate say bastard?
When a birth parent or other parent are not married to each other, the law says the birth parent and the other parent must complete a VDOP or get a court order.
A VOP.
What?
A VOP.
A VOP.
We
You
have to
gotta
get
do
a VOP.
You know the VOP.
You have to establishing legal parent. I read percentage and I was like who gets what, 60-40? Like,
I want
parentage.
51%.
I want the top half. The bottom half is the gross one.
I'm good on that.
Establishing legal parentage is easy and free and helps a child in many ways.
Okay.
Well, if you need an officiant to marry you guys before the actual wedding.
So you are like you got ordained. You could like, if you were in an airplane and someone's like, oh my God, we need to get married right now, you could do it.
Yes, they sent me a card, like a credit card thing.
Yes.
I've also got like a lanyard that can go on the inside of my jacket.
And is that good for any
Life.
of the 50 states of America?
Yes, I believe so.
Wow.
So you could be in an airplane.
Yes.
Well, after going to Joe and Serena's first class wedding, just truly exceptional. I will say, though, that there were a lot of jokes about them already being married.
Yes.
Which I would love to avoid if we did that.
Yeah.
I don't know if there were more jokes about them already being married or the age gap between Joe and Serena.
Which I never knew that was a thing.
I didn't think so either, which is
Yeah.
just like, holy shit, I can't,
Yeah, you're going to get a lot of those.
They're 11 years.
I feel like Joe and Serena walked so I could say, don't fucking do that at my wedding.
Yeah.
Well, so the problem that Joe and Serena had was they got caught coming out of the courthouse by paparazzi. So it became
So fucking
public.
famous, yeah.
Yeah, they're so...
Oh my God.
So everyone knew, right? And then so before you get married, whoever's marrying you, you get together and you talk about like everything. So I was like, is it known like amongst your family and friends that like you guys are already married? And they were like, yes, everyone knows like this is really a pretend wedding. And I was like, okay, then we can lean into that.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like during all the speeches, it was just nonstop. Joe is an old fuck, and Serena is young,
like a child bride.
Yeah,
Like, it was like,
I look at them. I'm like, They're kind of like the same age to me.
I was like, yes, Serena's way more mature than
Yeah,
Joe.
It's so true.
Yeah, it was also just a truly great, lovely wedding.
Joe also kissed her before you said to kiss.
Oh, that
which
was hilarious.
I almost had a panic attack.
Natalie goes, "Oh no!"
Yeah. So did I. I said, no. And then Joe goes, what, am I not supposed to do that? And you're like, have you ever been to a wedding?
Yeah, like,
But
what?
it was so Joe. It
Totally.
was so beautifully Joe. For anyone who doesn't know, we're talking about Joe and Serena were giving each other their vows.
Yeah.
And
After they finished.
Joe did his speech.
Yeah.
And, you know, very Joe-ish. And then got done and was like kind of so proud of himself.
Like, I love you, baby.
And he went, "I love you, baby," and leaned in for a kiss. And Natalie screams, "No!"
Yeah.
I
whole
feel like
church did. Yeah.
everyone was like, yeah.
But I actually kind of love that he did that because it was very Joey.
Totally.
In the best possible way.
Well, and then I say, like, I know you guys are already married, but like, come on, we're like
Yeah.
almost there. It was funny because so beforehand, they came to me and they're like, I needed to know the nuts and bolts of everything, right? So I was like, so who's going first in terms of vows? And they were like going back and forth. And I was like, well, who's going to kill? Like, who's going to be funnier? And Joe's like, I'm going to be funnier. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
then Serena should go first because you never want to follow someone that
Yeah.
kills, right? So she went first. And after her thing, which was really heartfelt and beautiful, I thought for sure they were going to kiss. And I was like ready for it.
Yeah.
And then Joe opens up with his joke, and I was like, okay, this is me, yuck, so like, whatever. And then at the end, he's like, I love you, baby. And then goes in for a kiss, and I was like, I wasn't ready for that.
That joke was so good. And it's
So
so
what-
funny because we ran into them in the hotel, like the first day we got, like the
Mhm.
Friday
Oh, yeah.
before. And he was like, I have told the videographer to make a reel of my vows because they're so
Yeah.
killer. They're so good.
Yeah, and, like Natalie said, was joking with Joe, and Joe like kind of admitted it was true that like when Joe was like writing his vows the night before, he would like laugh at his own joke and kind of like write it down and be like, "That's hilarious."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he was in a separate room. Joe's was wonderful. I thought Serena's was a little funnier.
Really?
Well, because she wasn't trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And then she made that joke about like not wanting to say this because it's going to go to his head. It was
Yeah.
like really endearing, but funny and very sweet. I mean, they were both great,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Well, so like for everyone that doesn't know, Joe's joke was when I first came down to Paradise, I was panic stricken, I was nervous, and then I saw you with
brown
eyes, curly
yeah.
hair, big smile, and I walked up to you and I said, "Wells, I'm so glad you're here," or whatever. And
Yeah.
so that's the big misdirection. Is he
Yeah.
thinks we're talking
Yeah.
about Serena, and then it's funny if you watch that reel on his Instagram. I'm going through the nuts and bolts in my head of like, hey, what the next act is or the next beat, and so I'm not really listening to. I'm listening, but I'm not really
Yeah, yeah.
listening. And so you can see I give him a laugh because I know it's the
Like everyone's
appropriate time
laughing.
to
You're
laugh.
like, yeah, sure.
And then you can see the gears turn and be like, oh,
Yeah.
and then I really laugh. I don't know. It was. I think that was
Yeah.
was very, very funny. And but he screwed up something else too. And I started doing the I do's. Like, you, Joe, take Serena to be your lawfully wedded wife. I do. And I was
Oh,
like, hold on,
yeah.
I have like 7 more
Yeah,
things
yeah.
before you say I do.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But it was just so them. Like, I feel like, and everyone thought the same. It couldn't be a more Joe and Serena moment up there. I feel like Serena poised and, eloquent, and then
Yes.
Joe just like kind of fucking it all up. But
I don't
like
know, I
still
don't
like, yeah.
I know. And like, so I went on their podcast yesterday and we were talking about it, and they're like, thank you for taking it so seriously because we didn't. And I'm like, yeah, well, I didn't want to screw it all up. But one of my favorite takeaways of the entire weekend was getting to meet their parents. And like, whatever you think Joe's parents are like, you're 100% right. Like Joe's dad sounds just like him, looks a lot like him, gigantic hands. His name is Joe. Everyone's name is Joe or
Yeah.
Joanne or Joey or
Yeah.
Joseph.
It's such an Italian family.
It was the most, and I told this on my podcast too, but like the last night, the night they got married, we went out and got pizza, of course, with Joe's cousin, Gina, and other cousin Spaghetti.
Oh.
The guy's name was Spaghetti. And I was like, I don't know if I can say this to you. Like, my name's Spaghetti. We went out, got pizza with Spaghetti, drank Chianti in the courtyard until 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, this is the most Italian thing
my
I've
God.
ever done. And I loved it.
And I loved
Did
it.
you guys exchange numbers with Spaghetti?
I don't think so.
It
But
was-
we're in the DMs now.
Joe took me to, he's like, do you want to meet my dad? And I was like, no, of course I do.
Yeah.
So he took me and he saw his mom first. So he introduced me to his mom, sweetest woman ever. And then he took me over to his dad and he goes, Dad, she said I got my looks from mom. And he goes, ah, fuck you. I was like, okay.
Yeah, Big Joe is the best.
Yeah.
And we've got a date. I'm going to Chicago. I'm going over to their house. He's gonna make me. He's like, it's gravy, but we call it sauce. I'm gonna make you some sauce. And I'm like, yeah, okay, great. I don't know. Let's
So
go.
wait, is it sauce or is it gravy?
He's like, everyone calls it gravy, but we call it sauce in Chicago. I was like, okay. Well,
But like tomato, like a
I guess-
spaghetti sauce.
I don't know.
He'll
Like,
find
I
out.
honestly don't know.
Or is it like a meat gravy sauce?
Yeah, like I don't know if it's like biscuits and gravy or if
Yeah.
it's like tomato sauce. I don't know, but all I know is it's called sauce, and I'm very excited for it.
So they asked you by a text. Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Joe just texted you and was like, hey, do you want to?
He goes, hey, I got something to ask you. Will you marry Serena and I? And my initial response was, I feel like this is more of a phone call
Yeah.
than a text.
But sure.
Yeah.
But then I was like, hell yeah. When someone asks you to do something like that, you're like, yeah. And then you're like, oh, this is a lot of responsibility. And like, I don't even know if I can go to the wedding. Like, I don't even know. When is the wedding?
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's really funny too, though, because for our wedding, initially, Ty Burrell was supposed to marry us. And he had a family emergency like a week beforehand. So we were like, oh God, what do we do? And no shit, we texted Jesse Tyler Ferguson. Wait, didn't even call. And I remember telling Sarah, I was like, we need to FaceTime him and ask him. And she was like, let's just text him and see what he says. And then if he's like, yes, then we'll FaceTime. And that's what we did. But
Yeah.
I was texted by Joseph. But that's the most Joe thing ever.
That's like Nick too. I told him, I was like, I have to figure out all my bridesmaids proposal boxes. And he's like, fuck, you just text him and ask. Like, what do you
Yeah.
mean? I'm like, no, you
No.
can't do that.
Well, I'm not saying text, but I'm not giving everyone a box.
We were out to dinner with one of our friends and Nick was like, so do you want to be like a groomsman? And he
Yeah.
was like, yeah, like I guess.
Yeah. It's the guys, it's so informal for guys, and for girls, it's like, you're getting a wicker box
Yeah.
with, like gold
Wine,
leaf. Yes,
scrunchies.
of course, you need
lip
all those
balm.
things.
Yeah.
Sarah's boxes were ridiculous and cost, I'm sure, way too much money,
Yeah, I'm sure.
but it's a thing.
They all, yeah.
I tell you what I did do. I did do like a box for my groomsmen at the wedding, which was like, I gave everyone like a really nice tie. I gave everyone like a flask and, like
Yeah, you got to give a little merch.
a knife.
The
I
worst
think.
was I feel
Jared
like
gave me a hoodie.
you got to plan ahead because this was like my brother-in-law texting me 5 to 7 days before the wedding, maybe a couple days more, but not much. And he was like, Allie, I need your help getting like customized things for all of my groomsmen. And I was like, we are out of time for
Yeah.
custom. I was
Yeah.
like, we are getting generic. I was like, I'll find you whiskey glasses, but they're not going to be etched with anybody's initials.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, nope.
Etched.
Etched.
Uh-uh.
Or having a girl. There's that.
Oh yeah, we
just
announced
Well, yeah,
this
you-
morning.
Oh yeah, I saw that on Instagram. I didn't know if we were allowed to talk about it.
Yeah.
That's congratulations.
Thanks.
Hey.
You're gonna be such a good girl dad.
I feel like
I
I am.
know.
Yeah.
You're such a good girl dad.
Am I allowed to be like, yeah?
Yeah. No, of course.
Nick thinks he's gonna be this like strict parent, and I'm like, the second that this little girl who looks like you is like, Daddy, I really
I
want
hope she
this
looks like you.
Barbie. You're gonna be like, yeah, sure, let's buy 10 Barbies. Can we get all the Barbies off the shelf? You're gonna
Yeah.
crumble at her.
I don't.
Yeah.
I think I'll definitely be a softie, but I don't.
I can't wait to
Your
prove you
heart of stone will crumble.
wrong.
I just don't want to spoil. I don't want to have a spoiled kid.
Yeah. Especially like we're on the fringes of Hollywood here, right? Like you look at all these kids, these like Nepo babies, and you're like, I hate them
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
You know? So like
Yeah.
our kid will not be
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, I just I don't know how I'm gonna do.
They will not be wearing a Balenciaga hoodie into
No, yeah.
a Beyonce concert.
She'll,
No.
she'll have chores. Did you have chores growing up?
Absolutely.
But like at what age?
I don't know.
Like-
really young. My chore was I remember all of them actually. I had to fill the wood box. That was one of the things. So then that means I also had to chop
It's like
the
heavy,
wood.
yeah, for a
You gonna
kid.
chop wood?
Yeah, but we had one of those. We had a wood chopper that you put it in, and then you like crank this thing, and this like blade would come.
How
and,
old were you?
I don't know, like 10.
Okay.
And then we had a wheelbarrow that had so many spiders in it. And I remember I was like, I'm gonna get a fucking bit. And I'd fill that up, and then we had a wood box, that like on the outside you put it in, and on the inside you can open it up and get it. My dad loved to fire, big fire guy. And then I also had to we had a long driveway down to our house. At the time, we had like these crates for the recycling, and I had to take the crates up to the top of the hill. Those are my
Yeah, take
chores.
the trash. Yeah. Nick says as soon as she is able to ask for things, she will be doing her chores.
Yeah. What are her chores gonna be?
I don't know.
He said if she wants a toy, he said, okay, go vacuum your room 30 times. 30 times? She has to vacuum her room before she gets a toy?
I mean, I did kind of say that, but it's not exactly what I meant. I don't know what age.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure I'll get a lot of books, and my therapist will give me her 2 cents on child development and what age you should do this and what you should do that. But I think as early as I possibly can, without fucking up my kid, I want them to know the difference between need and want. And
Yeah.
the things that they want, I want them to be willing to work for it. And maybe that is cleaning up a room or whatever. But I don't know what life's. But right now we are incredibly privileged. We
Mhm.
can afford kind of anything our kid could ever want.
Yeah.
I'm guessing we can afford it. Type of thing. I hope my kid doesn't come out asking for like Rolexes, but you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like most of the toys that she wants, we could afford. What birthdays and Christmas, I want to spoil her, but like she's gonna ask for a lot of things, and I don't want to have a spoiled kid. And if she wants things, and if she's willing to work towards them, I want to instill that work ethic as early as I can. It's something my parents did with me, and it's paid dividends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw something where a dad was like, the currency in our house is knowledge. So like pages equal money.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's something where they understand. I want this. My dad, we were at the lake house, and I think I mentioned this on the show last couple weeks ago. But my parents even told me this story about, I wanted something. I think it was like a deck of cards or something, like 1993, the entire season of NBA. I don't know, whatever the fuck it was, and I had to like mow lawns and do
Yeah.
jobs, and then I had enough money, and I was like, I don't think I want it.
Yeah.
And I like understood the value of how much things cost
Yeah.
and earning things, and that's a lot different than having a kid who's just, I want this, I want that, having no concept of what things cost or money or what it takes to earn something. Yeah, I do want. And maybe it's pages, maybe it's reading, maybe it's, I don't know what it is, but just the idea of
I lived on a golf
Investing in
course as a kid, and so privileged. And so people would hit golf balls into our yard and stuff. So we would sell golf balls and lemonade to the golfers. And so that I would do the same thing. I never got money. My parents never
Yeah.
gave me any money. So I would go out there, and I'd like, if I needed, like I remember needing new wheels for my rollerblades. Yes, I rollerbladed.
I rollerbladed.
Well, you roller skate.
Yeah, that
You're
too.
good at roller skating. I was really good at rollerblading, and it was heartbreaking to me when that became like not cool. And I was like, who made this decision? I'm good at this one. Anyways, I remember I'd sell golf balls and lemonade or sometimes beers until I got like enough money for the rollerblades. And the same thing. Once I like worked for that, and I was like, that was so much more work than what the
Yeah.
joy that this is gonna bring me. No, I'm not doing
Those
this
are valuable lessons.
Yeah.
And like you remember them.
How were you selling beers?
illegally.
Yeah.
Where were you sourcing them from?
The fridge.
His fridge.
So you would just steal beers from your
Yes.
parents and then sell them to other people.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and like
I kind of respect that. I'd be really proud of my kid. I mean, as long as they're not drinking anything.
And we would also like, this is such a terrible thing, but we were kids, so like we didn't know. We would always pretend one was sick, but now we wouldn't say
God.
how sick they
like
were.
terminally sick?
That
Like the
was
lemon-
that
like a-
was that was the implication, and so we would make a sign. We'd be like,
You made a sign?
we'd be like raising money for our sick sister, and then we put my sick sister like on a chair, and we'd be like, look sick, and she'd be like, ah.
I like how you were like, that was the implication. And then you were like, no, there was a sign and she was in a chair.
You look
We
like you're
wrapped her in
dying.
a blanket.
We put some like
It was one of those.
black shit underneath her eyes, so she looked like she hadn't slept in a while.
Did you have one of those thermometers with a money goal?
We were terrible.
my
But
gosh, your poor
I do
sister.
remember people being like, okay, lemonade, or we were also saying sold Tang. Do you guys remember Tang?
Oh yeah.
Tang was good, man. And then I remember guys would come up and be like, well, do you have any beer? And we'd be like, yeah.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Yeah, we'll go
We got to
grab it.
go inside. And then my dad be like, what are you doing? And they're like, someone wants a beer. And he's like, charge them more. What, you know?
Yeah.
But
How much would you sell a beer for?
I don't really, I remember that lemonade was 50 cents. The golf balls, it depended on like the shape and the quality of the golf ball. And I think beers were like $3.
So you were basically a beer cart girl at
Dude,
like 10
and
years old.
So we lived on the corner of 9 and 10, and that bitch of a beer cart girl. So we were on 10 fairway, and she would go sit on 10 tee box and cut us off right before they got to us.
No.
So what'd you do? How'd you get her back?
Pretended my sister had like terminal cancer or something. That's how we got back.
They're like, sorry, there's a sick kid up there. We gotta keep going.
They were like, oh my God, we gotta return this because this poor girl.
Did the golf course like realize that you were selling basically them their balls back?
Oh yeah, and so there
Did
was
you get in trouble?
no, not at all. Well, because we
Kids.
found them.
Talk about a bunch of rich people.
And so,
That's true.
but there was also there was one hole that you had to hit over a gully, so it was like, you know, balls would get lost down there, and so we'd go hunt for them down there when we would run out of balls. But it was full of poison oak. So sometimes the sick sister did look like she had something wrong with her because we were just all full of poison oak from it. So we had to work for it. This is amazing that we've gotten here from where we started. Can I ask a question about? Were you planning on this?
Pregnancy?
So we
Did you pull the goalie?
We
Yeah.
decided to
Yeah.
like let
we were just
fate
kind of like,
take. We were
yeehaw.
like, let's just see what happens if like we were to do this. And I don't know.
Well, but that's what happens.
Yes. No, yeah. Well,
Well, you always hear.
that it takes a long time
Yeah.
and that you gotta, you know,
They're
it's
like,
just
I'm like
old
as
as
fuck,
shit.
you
It
It
know?
has nothing
Yeah.
to do with you.
Does it that? I don't know.
No, I feel like
Picasso
men
had
can
children
have,
well into his 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't Al Pacino
like,
just have a kid?
sometimes men have.
Well, listen, we were,
Fertility
to answer your
noise.
question, we were kind of like, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And there was definitely a part of me of like, I don't know, like as individuals, we always wanted children.
Yeah.
You know, I've been on this earth for a minute and it was kind of like, I'm pretty sure I can. I hope I can. And like,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of anxiety. I've had a handful of friends really struggle with getting pregnant. You're kind of like, well, what if it takes us a while? And I don't know. And then, you know, it's kind of like we're engaged, we're getting married. I'm definitely ready. And it's kind of like, what's the worst that could happen? Well, the worst thing that happened is we were blessed with a child. And
Yeah.
so we were
Yeah.
kind of like, fuck it. And then, but it was, in fact, the first time.
Yeah. Of course it was.
Yeah.
Wait, so how did you tell him?
So I found out that morning and he had gone to work already.
Now, was it like a thing of I feel different or like
My
I've-
boobs hurt.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. And I had taken a pregnancy test like a week before and
Mhm.
it was negative.
Okay.
And that's when we kind of had this conversation of like, well, what if it takes us a while? Like, will that be frustrating? How will we, go through that? We had this conversation. Then a week later, I'm like, my boobs kind of hurt. Like, I'm just going to take another one because I had a ton in this
Yeah.
drawer.
You did have so many.
I had so
You took
many.
multiple.
I had so
I
many.
was like, Natalie, where did these all come from?
Anytime Nick would go to the grocery store, I'd be like, I don't know, just like grab a couple
Yeah.
like, just in case. And so I took it and it immediately came up pregnant.
Yeah. You had COVID.
Immediately.
exactly when you had COVID.
Immediately, yeah. And so I
That's second
am like,
bar.
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
I'm like so shocked. I have no idea. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. He's like recording. I'm
Did
like,
you
I
cry?
can't call. Oh, yeah. Sobbed.
Yeah.
Then
He's
Cindy came over.
recording. I didn't. Yeah. Then Cindy came over and she's like,
So was she
what
the
are
first
you?
person that knew?
She's like, what are you crying about? And there's like 17 pregnancy tests on the counter. She's like, oh, fuck.
So did you
I
I
take
think she
one?
called you a bitch.
You bitch. That's what she said.
Did you take one? You immediately had COVID, and then were you like, okay, I need to take another one
Yeah.
to like,
But I also like, I was like, oh my God, I just used up all my pee. So then I'm
Yeah.
like chugging water. And then I'm like, what? Is this going to like water it down? Like, is then it going to come up negative
Yeah.
because I drank all this
Yeah.
water? I don't know.
Wash
So
the kid out.
went through that whole day.
So he's recording that time.
He's at work.
Okay.
I'm like trying to figure out what I can do. I'm like, I want to make something special. Like, I don't want to just say like, hey, I'm pregnant. So I'm like, let's record ourselves like cooking dinner together.
Yeah.
You know? And I knew he had to get parchment paper out of this drawer to like beat the meat.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the meat.
Yeah.
One does.
Which you did just a couple months earlier.
Yeah. And so we're recording it and he's taking it so fucking serious.
Yeah.
He's like, no, that wasn't a good take. Let's redo it. I'm like, no, let's just get through
because she's
it.
like, hey, we should like share our kale salad recipe. I'm like, okay. Like,
yeah, he gets so excited.
Everyone's going to love this.
Yeah.
like, yeah, we should do this.
Yeah. And then he's like, well, let's stop recording and let's like get the stuff. I'm like, no, let's just keep recording.
Yeah.
And he finally opens the drawer and all I had was, we didn't know the gender, but all I had was a pink onesie that I had bought my friend
Yeah.
who had a baby that I just never sent to her by accident. So I was like, I'll put that in there. I don't know. Screams baby with all the pregnancy tests and like a little sign that said, hi, Dad. And he was so shocked.
Yeah.
But
I
were
mean-
you like, what is this doing in here?
Well, first I open it up and I looked and I go, are you pregnant? Kind of like in this shock. And then I had this like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But then moments later, I had the self-awareness. I'm like what was all happening? Like, oh, I'm being recorded. And then I was like, I'm messing this up. Like
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to turn this
Yeah,
off.
Take two.
you know, like, because I was just so, I wasn't given the, oh my God, you know, I was just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Just-
was very shocking.
and then I got self-conscious about being recorded and I was acting all fucking weird. And yeah, so we're not posting that video.
Yeah, no. But he was like, are we having a girl? And I was like, no, I don't know. That's all I had.
But how was the kale salad?
Really good.
Okay.
Really, yeah, it was great.
Whew.
I actually threw it up the other day, so I can't eat that anymore.
Oh, no.
It was so bad. And my chiropractor said, we don't digest kale very well. And I was like, no, I'm aware.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I think humans just don't.
Right.
Not pregnant women.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
What are some of the weird things that like your cravings that are weird? Do you have any?
I don't really have weird
Started
cravings.
craving sweets recently.
Yeah, I do sweets. I like my ice cream with a bowl of chocolate ice cream with brownie in it,
Okay.
with milk and
and
3
ice.
ice cubes in a
Interesting.
bowl.
Crazy.
Because ice cubes keep it like kind of like icy and
Yeah,
cold,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And then the milk just adds to like,
But that sounds like something that you did beforehand.
She did.
yeah, it is. But I like really crave it now.
So not like pickles and anchovies or some weird thing
Pickles,
like that.
yes.
I always liked pickles.
But I always like pickles. Did we ever tell this story on the podcast about the pickle incident? I don't think so. Nick left one day and as soon as he left, I was like, oh my God, I need a pickle.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So I go to the fridge, brand new jar. I have little tiny hands
Yeah.
and I could not open it.
Oh no.
And I am trying and trying and trying. I call him. I'm like on the verge of tears. I'm like, I can't open this fucking pickle jar. He's like, oh no.
It was like her first craving in a lot. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Since being pregnant. So she just decided she needed a pickle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nick is like, put it under hot water, like tap the side. He's like trying to help me. It's like nothing is working. So then he's like, take it outside and throw it on the ground.
No,
I'm
no.
like,
I said take it outside and grab
bust it.
grab a pot and put it in the pot and put like a towel over and fucking break that shit
Like,
and
what
grab
the
your
fuck?
pickle.
I'm like, so a
Just choke
glassy,
it down with some
literally
glass.
a glassy pickle.
Why?
Like,
Why?
that's delicious.
Every time I
Eat
tell
up,
this story to
Nicole.
someone, everyone looks at me like I'm insane. My pregnant fiance is in a panic.
He needs a pickle.
I'm on the road. She's like, I need a pickle. I'm like, I'll buy. She's like, well, what about the juices and everything? I'm like, well, put it in a pot. Again, cover it. And you're just pulling out a pickle. There's not going to be shards of glass everywhere. And you're saving the juice if you need it. And I'll just buy some new pickles. Everyone's looking at me like I'm insane. I'm trying to get my pregnant fiance
Some
a goddamn
pickles.
pickle.
That was a non-option for me. Non-starter. So then I'm like,
Wait, by the way, do you want to know how to do that if you're ever in this situation again?
please.
I can tell you how. So the reason why it's hard to open is because there's negative air pressure in there, right? And that's why
Okay.
it does that,
Yeah.
right? So to get it off, if you take it fucks up the thing, but if you need to get something open, take a knife,
Mhm.
stab it, open a hole in there so the negative air pressure changes, and then you can open up easily.
Stab it
Wow.
through the
See,
top.
Why didn't you know that?
That sounds more dangerous to take a fucking knife and stab the top of a jar than
Yeah.
taking it outside
and hitting it with a hammer.
and pulling out a pickle. Yeah.
Anyway, so
Wait, hold on. You sound so much like Jerry Seinfeld right there. She needs a walking pickle. What's the deal with these jars?
Yeah, he does. So I take it outside and I'm like, there's got to be a neighbor, like checking the mail,
Yeah.
taking the trash, something.
She's
So
like,
I go
"Where's
outside.
Ken?"
Yeah. And I am like in my little house outfit, just like shorts and like no bra, little tank top,
Yeah. Surely a man will come in this outfit.
And the UPS man is driving.
Yeah, there he is.
And I'm like waving him down.
I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
Can you have it?
I'm like waving him down in the middle of the street. He stops and I'm like, can you open my pickle
Oh my
jar?
God. He's like, am I in a porn right now?
Literally, my sister texted me. She was like, he 100% thought he was in a porn. I'm like, he was so fucking mean to me.
Was he?
Yes. He was like, he opened it and then it spilt pickle juice on him. He was like, now I have fucking pickle juice all over me. I'm like, okay, sorry, thanks. And like just took it and left. But he honestly like could have,
Yeah.
yeah.
You should have been like, you know what? I was going to fuck you.
Yeah.
But not
now,
anymore.
I'm not.
Now it's not happening.
Yeah. My husband has gone to work and I was. Yeah. Anyway, so
Yeah, that happened.
that was the only like strong.
But hold on. Did you get a pickle?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because he opened
yes,
it. Okay.
he opened
He
it for
opened it,
me,
yeah.
and I ran inside,
And
and
he begrudgingly squealed off.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he couldn't have left faster.
Well, if you are in the small business arena, or maybe you're thinking about starting a business, maybe you have this great idea and you're like, you know what? I want to sell a bunch of my widgets and my gadgets online. Well, you got to be using Shopify. Shopify, that's right. Shopify is the e-commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide. I've been a Shopify customer for years. It is an excellent platform if you have a product that you want to get to your customers. It's great analytics. It works with so many different applications that help streamline your business. One of those applications being ShipStation, which we talk about all the time. But that's what's great about Shopify. It's kind of drag and drop functionality. It's super easy design. You can be having a business up and running in a day. If you have an idea and you're ready to start your business, Shopify is ready to help you sell your products to your customers. You can track your orders. You can track your analytics. You can get your money directly into your bank account. It's amazing just how easy it is. You would think that you would have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to get someone to design a platform like this. Well, it's ready to go for you. Shopify covers every sales channel from an in-person POS system to an all-in-one e-commerce platform. It even lets you sell across social media platforms like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, packed with industry-leading tools ready to ignite your growth. Shopify gives you complete control over your business and your brand without having to learn any new skills to design or code. And thanks to their 24/7 help and extensive business course library, Shopify is here to support your success every step of the way. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/VIALL, all lowercase. Just go to shopify.com/VIALL. Again, that's all lowercase to take your business to the next level today. Shopify.com/VIALL. Now it's time to get serious about selling and try Shopify today. Can you believe we've seen 7 months without an NFL game? I can't. It's crazy. Well, good thing that's over. NFL is here, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving you a can't-miss offer for Week 1. This week, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL game. For the ladies out there, if your man is into football and you want to enjoy the action, just go over to DraftKings, put a $5 bet down, you'll get a couple $100. Trust me, you'll be super into the game. Let the action just drive you. It'll be fun. I'm telling you, nothing will make it more exciting than putting a couple bucks down and seeing if you can win. And the best part is, you're going to get a couple $100 in bonus bets instantly. Download now and use code VIALL to sign up. New customers can take home $200 in bonus bets instantly just for betting $5. That's code VIALL and only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, KS. 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. See dkng.co/football for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply.
Wells.
Yeah.
Can you explain to the audience why Bachelor in Paradise decided to use an old clip of Demi and Brandon jet skiing.
Yeah, I don't
Is
know.
this season so boring that they needed to pull old footage? But can you help the audience out?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I can see that they're blurred out, or it's blurry, so whatever. It's not a boring season, and I think that we do have a see-do date. So, like, I don't know why. I think they just got lazy, maybe.
We can get excited about this season.
It's good. I can tell you this. I am a little frustrated. They spoiled a lot. Gone are the days of, like, we don't tell you who's coming down on the beach until the episode starts. But they released all the first day's faces, which we've never done in the past. That was always like you had to wait until that first episode.
I don't know half of them,
Yeah, you do.
but I don't remember. Is it? I just feel like they're.
I mean, like, it's all the stars from the most recent seasons, if you've been watching it. The other thing that
We
they
have.
did...
I guess it's. But maybe
Well, I mean, like, Aaron's a big star. He's there.
Aaron.
Aaron,
From charity season.
yeah.
Aaron Bryant.
B, he was like third place or second place. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
yeah.
I'm just not seeing Star. or-
Braden's there. He's a kind of a big
Braden.
name.
Braden. We're Braden fans here.
I
Yeah.
am too,
Yeah.
and that might be controversial, but I'm
I
also.
don't think Aaron's a star, but I get what you're saying.
I mean, wait till the season starts. I mean, I know how it goes, but Braden's good because Braden's a TV maker, and so like I appreciate that. Like, he looks ridiculous with his earrings and his scarves and everything, but like he is down to like enjoy himself in paradise, which I think is an important thing. Yeah, there are a lot of stars. And going back to, they released the intro of the show before the show started, which is great. But I'm like, usually you don't even see that in the first episode because you don't know who's coming down, so you can't see the intro because then you'd be like,
yeah.
oh, I know Kat's coming and I know so and so's coming.
Right.
But they released that, so I was like, man, okay, so the whole first episode's kind of like we know what's happening.
Yeah.
But like in this day and age of DVR and streaming and TikTok, like I think we're going in a different direction of like how we're promoting the show. But I will say this, like all the things that you want from Paradise happen in Paradise. We have a wedding this season, which that doesn't happen every year. That's always cool and that's always fun. There are weird things that happen on the beach that are either hilarious or sad. There's good breakups.
Is there a fall from grace? Is there like a fan favorite who you will like come to despise?
I don't know. Maybe we have more of a redemption story, which is I think is good. Like a bad guy turned good. No, yeah, we do have a fall from grace for sure. And then the whole
Bad guy turned good.
Well, is it Braden?
I mean, I can't say anything. Actually, I probably can because they're releasing all the stuff before the show starts anyway. But then, the mission statement of the show is like people get engaged at the end, and I can say that like there is love at the end, so
Aw.
it's good.
Okay. I'm excited.
We were worried.
Well, I don't think that
Demi.
the reason why the show is going to be bad because of Demi on a jet ski. I think it's more of
It was just more
lazy editing.
The
Yeah.
thought process was they usually have a lot to work with. We hear from every cast member who's ever graced us on the show talk about how there's so much we don't get to see.
Yeah.
And blah 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 blah, and then have them pull footage from like 3 seasons ago, which is just like a red flag.
I didn't even notice it until I saw like Demi, tweet about it or whatnot. And it would have never even occurred to me.
I didn't either.
Because like the big thing of like that teaser is I think you can tell it's Kat getting hit by a wave
Oh yeah.
and like absolutely getting fucking demolished. And I was there, I saw it, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire, like it wasn't like a little wave, like it was, it nailed them both. They tumbled
She got
like
knocked.
dude, they tumbled like 20 feet, like all the
Oh
way
my
up into that
God.
big day bed,
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
And also the girl who can't poop.
Yeah,
Learned a lot
I'm
about her.
so annoyed that they have released that because it was my favorite thing that happened this season, and it was so funny. Like they even showed like the doctor talking to
convinced
her.
her to agree to that.
It was happening. She was like, "I can't shit." guys." I'm like,
Oh,
no,
no.
oh no! And I kept on being like, in my interviews or ITMs, I was like, "Let me just get her some tap water." we're in Mexico.
Yeah.
We can get this out
Right?
Real
quick.
quick.
Just a couple veggies and
Real
some
quick. And they're like,
fruit.
no, we can't. We don't want to be disparaging to Mexico. I'm like, come on. Everyone knows that Mexican water is dangerous. Like, what are we doing
Everyone
here?
knows. Yeah.
There's not going to be like the
We're
president of Mexico is not going to be like, I can't believe you would tell people
You're
about
not
this.
coming back. What has been your favorite season to film? Like, what do you feel like was the most fun you felt?
Nick
like
and
the
I had
most.
fun before I was even the bartender. Nick and I had fun
Mhm.
on season 3. I was only there for like 6 days, but it was my first
Fun.
time getting to meet him. And
There were other seasons I know that you bartended where you came back and you were like, dude, messy.
yeah. Yeah, like I don't know if I think it was like if there's a super messy moment. Like the season that from Joe and Serena where I was like the master of ceremonies and like we had to have a shutdown and then who was it? Ivan like snuck out of a room
yeah.
and like that was to me that was amazing television. Like that
Yeah.
happened. It sucked because we didn't have any cameras on it because it was a shutdown. But like I had to confront him to be like, dude, did you sneak out of a room? He's
What?
like, yeah. Like, what? Honestly, this is one of my favorite seasons was my first season bartending, which was season 4, which was the year that we had the shutdown.
Oh, yeah.
And that sucked because there was this whole scandal and like all of a sudden private eyes and lawyers were involved. And we had to shut down for like 10 days. So we only got to film for 10 days. And the fact that we were able to make a television show in that short period of time, I think was like a testament to like how good Alon was at making television shows back then. But that one was fun because we had like this weird trauma bond because we all got stuck for like 10 days without filming. So we all had like leave the beach. And I remember at that time I was living in Sayulita, like in at a hotel, and they'd send a car for me whenever they needed me to come bartend. And so we shut down. They all go back to the Vedanta, which is like the staging hotel, which is in Puerto Vallarta. So it's like 45 minutes away. And obviously, and to no fault of theirs, like they had a lot going on. So everyone goes back over there. Like 5 days go by. I'm by myself in Sayulita. I haven't worked. No one's texting me about what's going on. And I remember texting being like, what's going on, everybody? And they're like, oh my God, sorry, Wells, is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just a little lonely. What's going on? And they were like, oh, we'll send a car for you right now. And then it was just everyone hanging out by the pool, like waiting to go back to film. That was just like a fun season because we hung out so much without cameras on us. And then there was also this like weird scandal that was happening. But
you
yeah,
got really close with everyone.
yeah, and that was at a time. Those were still like I was of age of everybody.
Right.
I'm now old. And I don't think of myself as like old, but like this season was the first season that we have like true Gen Zers in there. And like the things that they're saying, I'm like, what are you talking about? You know?
Yeah.
And so I think that they'll show it, but it's a lot of me making fun of like, they keep on saying it's giving. I don't know what it's giving. It's giving me a fucking headache. Like, what are you talking about? It's all about the vibes. The vibes there, they might not
They're
be
not
off.
giving.
And like beige flags are everywhere.
Yeah.
And because a red flag at least is like, you know it's bad, but beige, you're like, I don't know. And so,
Why beige?
Beige
Where have
to
you
me is
been?
like a quirk.
What?
yeah.
It's neither good nor bad.
Yeah.
No, but like, why
it's an
did we,
idiosyncrasy of your character.
why isn't it like pink? Like some
Because
version.
pink would be too close to
Because
red.
beige is such a neutral.
But isn't that the
color.
point
Neutral.
of a?
No, it's like true neutral.
True
Pink
neutral.
isn't neutral.
What is red and green mixed together?
That was a fucking
Oh my
science
God.
experiment.
Where is the color wheel?
Yeah.
Whatever that color is, that should be the thing in
It'd
the middle.
probably be some
It's
form
beige.
of brown.
But isn't beige flag is supposed to?
A brown or gray color.
It's like yellow.
It's
Okay.
Oh,
What's it supposed
okay.
to represent? Like we don't
it's
know.
just like a quirk or like
Yeah.
interesting.
It's an idiosyncrasy of your character that is not normal.
but not offensive.
Yes.
And Nick.
Like
No,
I showed you.
no.
No,
It's
I
not an
showed you
ick.
one.
No.
I showed you a TikTok video the other day, and it was like my wife's beige flag is that she always has some slight headache, or her stomach hurts, or like her body is like aching in some way, or she's like, and that is so me. Where every day I think I say, oh my God, like my head hurts,
Yeah.
my stomach hurts, I don't feel good. That's like a beige flag. It's not
Yeah,
necessarily an
my
ick.
beige flag is I'll start a season of a television show and then won't finish it. And like that
You're done.
annoys Sarah beyond belief.
What are my beige flags?
Yeah, there's a lot.
I'm like, well, let me just look at my notes app. I don't know. I mean, like leaving cabinet doors open, like that stuff is not like I wouldn't see that and be like, oh my God, a red fucking flag. Like, it's kind of annoying. Like, I don't know. Beige flag.
And then an ick.
An ick is like Nick tripped the other day.
Yeah.
And it gave me the ick.
Because did he trip like not cool?
Oh my God.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
wait. Do you trip cool?
Of course he does.
Yeah, because I'll like do a somersault and I'll pop back up.
Yeah.
Did you fall
then,
all the way
like,
over?
Yes. Like the opening scene of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Yeah. That's what I do.
Right. No, he just kind of like stumbled on his feet and I just went, ick alert, ick alert, ick alert. And he was like, what the fuck? Like, he feels so
Sorry, I'm just like
defeated.
walking. Like,
sorry, that piece of sidewalk is a little bit more lifted.
came
than
out
the
of
rest.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Wait, Natalie, you should start an Instagram series of like Nick's icks.
Yeah.
No,
Just
we
do
should
the little
totally do
ones.
that. Yeah.
My other one was
Nick's like, yeah, totally.
we were in the
totally.
car and he went over a speed bump and he kind of like lifted out of his seat a little bit.
So you didn't like how gravity was acting upon his body.
I didn't like how light he looked in that moment. Because why didn't I go up, first of all? You
No,
know,
she
like-
wants me to like
Okay, skinny
strangle someone
legend.
with my bare hands.
Yeah.
And like just be super
Yeah.
Manly.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
No.
Wells, I'm not sure you can answer this, but there was something that happened in the last season of Paradise that caught my eye because it was so similar to Love Island's Casa Amor.
Oh, yeah.
Did they like do that on purpose because Love Island is like so popular nowadays? Were they just like trying to change up the format? Like, do you think that'll be something that comes back?
I don't think it's coming back this season. I can tell you that. I
Okay.
remember when we did it. It's funny because Sarah hosts Love Island
Yeah,
USA,
exactly.
and so we separated everybody, and it was so funny to me because everyone got so angry. Like, really, that's that whole like "fuck you, Jesse Palmer," which is so funny.
And
to
I was
me.
like, they do this every season on Love
I
Island, and they
know.
don't say
Yeah.
a peep about it. They get excited.
Yeah,
they
well-
get thrilled.
"Oh yeah," they're like, "We're in Casa
Even if their
Amor!"
boyfriend, girlfriend said in love, the girls are like,
Yeah.
like so excited.
Yeah, no, I remember when like the idea was pitched, and I was like, "Yeah, we should do that." Like, first of all, Love Island ripped off Paradise, like originally, right?
Okay,
So we can
good
go
point.
rip off some of their good shit. You know?
Sure.
No one's
Do you and
making new
Sarah
shit
have
anymore.
like a competition?
No, I do like this last season of Love Island USA is really, really good. It's funny because she is such a Bachelor Nation fan, like loves the show, where she will be like, I don't like so and so. And then I'll be like, I've filmed with them, they're actually quite nice, like, relax. She's like, no, I don't like them. If I have to meet them, it's just not gonna be good. And I'm always like, dude, chill out. And then I
That was
watch
basically what she said about me for years.
Yes. She's come around on Nick. But then the same things happen with her show. I'm watching it and I'm like, I do not like that guy. That guy is a bad guy. And she's like, no, he's really quite nice. I'm like, no, and I never want to meet him.
Who? Sure, you can say.
I don't. So one guy called Sarah like that she was being rude.
Like
I saw
disrespectful.
that.
Yeah.
Like,
And
yeah.
And I have a couple thoughts on that. First of all, it's like, dude, this is a television show. Like, what do you think's happening? Like, of course the host is going to ask, are you sure you want to do this? Because America and all the audience is like, really? You're
Are you
going to
sure
get
you're gonna
back
do this?
together with this? He just got a hand job, like from, like
Yeah.
in a single bed, no less.
Ah.
And so that's kind of frustrating because if I was in her shoes, I would have been like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But of course she's so sweet and was just kind of like taken aback. But like that frustrated me a little bit. And yeah, so it's so funny because we've come full circle with the whole thing of I will be like, they're cool, like don't worry, and then she'll be like, they're cool, don't worry, and I'm like, no, I don't buy it.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
It is cute because Nick would tell me how much Sarah hated him before. And then at the wedding, she was like, okay, you'll get home safe. Love you. Bye.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, she loves you. Y'all have come so far.
But you were the bad guy for a long time in the Bachelor world.
I mean, for like, a season.
I feel like for 2 seasons you were the bad guy.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
for a season. Okay, sure.
I guess it really depends on who you ask. I was very much the villain on Andy's season. Then I was more polarizing on Caitlyn's season, but people,
Yeah, but everyone was mad at you because you came in late.
everyone. Yeah, I mean, no.
This is how I remember it.
No, she
And
fucking
then-
hated me.
And then you had a redemption on Paradise or something, right? You came back and stole everyone's hearts.
Not
Yeah,
everyone's.
but then it didn't. But
Not
not
everyone's.
really though.
Sarah's.
Well, that's you were with somebody, and then it seemed like you dumped them to become the Bachelor. So that was the
The tea.
well, that was like the
If you didn't
subcontext.
like me, Sarah,
That's
Yes.
what. That is
then
what
you would
you would
then-
use.
then-
That's how you
like,
perceive it.
no, I'm still not coming around. Fuck him. No. Yeah.
She loves you now, but like that's a
Now.
problem.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. She didn't like you back then, but she's
Or
come
she's
full
just a
circle.
very good actress, which she is.
Yeah.
Period.
She's a very good actress.
Not to stir the pot. Just kidding.
Speaking
Yeah.
of great actress, Sophie Turner.
Officially done.
It seems like it's getting a little nasty.
Well, what's
Give 'em a
really
look.
sad to me is there's all these like stories online about how she's like a party girl and Joe was at home, you know, like raising the kids while she was out partying, which from like her interviews in the past doesn't actually seem to have been the case. Like she's always been like, I love to be at home. Like I love the pandemic because I love to be at home. Joe is like a social butterfly. I think he's really sad that this is happening. But it's also like a testament to like where are these stories coming from? Is
Well, that's
his
the
team
thing.
putting out these stories
Whether
to
they're
paint her?
true or not,
Yeah.
who knows? But they're coming out fairly aggressively.
Yeah, like strategic.
Yeah, and it feels
Yeah.
very strategic. And I don't know who's talking to like outlets like TMZ, but someone from their camp. And maybe it's not, maybe it's not being approved by Joe, so to speak. But like, yeah, it's coming from inside.
Yeah, and then the fact that she put out this Instagram statement that was like it was
But he-
just on her Instagram,
Then
didn't collab.
they didn't
they-
collab, but I did check his. It is on his.
It's the same.
Okay,
What does
okay.
the statement say?
Statement from the two of us. After 4 wonderful years of marriage, we have mutually decided to amicably end our marriage. There are many speculative narratives as to why, but truly this is a united decision, and we sincerely hope that everyone can respect our wishes for privacy for us and our children.
A
Meanwhile,
lot of
over at
thesaurus work there.
TMZ,
Yeah.
multiple sources close to the Jonas Brothers told TMZ Wednesday that he either overheard the Games of Thrones actress say something or saw her do something via a Ring camera that made him realize the marriage was over.
Like,
Whoa.
what did she do at their door?
Like kiss
It
someone
was you
goodbye.
with the UPS man and the
Yeah.
pickle jar.
Yeah, asking.
Picklegate.
Yeah.
But it's such a bummer that like it seems like there's efforts being made to win the breakup.
Yeah, I mean
And that's a bummer.
I don't know if you get to that level of stardom without having like good PR teams in both camps, and so I'm
No,
not.
I-
I guess I'm not surprised by this.
No, I hear
Yeah,
you, but
sure.
there is a universe, and maybe we're being naive, where two relatively young people who had a couple kids together fairly early in their marriage realized, let's say the statement they put out, we took at face value. There's a world where it was just like, hey, like maybe we're just not meant to be together forever, but we respect each other. We clearly both love our children. We want what's best for our kids, and let's just try to do it. And I say this like Vanessa and I didn't have a great relationship at all. We both very much struggled, but to her, and I guess my credit, when we broke up, we didn't talk about each other. And we really, like, there weren't like leaks coming out of each other's camps. And that's something I've always been grateful for, because I think we both just struggled. We weren't happy. We broke up, and we just decided not to make it even worse on each other by trying to win the breakup. And I say this coming from a relationship that wasn't healthy, that didn't have a lot of good in it. Obviously it's
Or
different.
kids. I
Or
feel like
kids.
it's definitely. I always find it interesting when there's children involved and the parents, like even the Kevin Costner stuff, like they just say such terrible things about the other person. It's like one day your kids will read that you said that about them. Like this is in the
Yeah.
media forever.
I hope they stop putting out leaks,
The other thing is that you don't really know what's real and what's not, because, I mean, you know as well as I do, like a lot of times, like sources say there's no source. It's just like what
Yeah.
people think, and you can just put something out under the anonymity of a source, which is not a real thing.
That's true. That does happen. But quotes like this they are coming from someone. Now,
Yeah.
that someone could be,
The ring stuff, like the ring camera stuff.
yeah, that's fairly specific. And it's just like coming from someone who clearly has,
I don't know. A source told TMZ. Come on, it's TMZ.
yeah, that's kind of true.
Come on.
I don't.
And like, do we think whatever this is on the ring camera will ever come to light? Because now it says the details is unknown. But like, do you think someone will maybe leak that footage or?
I hope not for both of their sakes. I don't know. And maybe she fucked up. I don't know. But I don't know if you really need to win the breakup.
Yeah, I think it's more of a like they just grew apart and like started to realize that they were not birds of a feather. Like she was a homebody. He obviously likes to go out and his job is to go out and perform. So I understand that. And so maybe they were just like, you know what, we had a good run and let's get out.
Let's just move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope we're not talking about this in the weeks to come, like Kev and his.
Oh, there's more on Kevin.
There's more?
Okay.
His wife, his ex-wife has come out and said that she vows to enter the workforce after child support payments reduced, and she's going to look into furthering her education so that she can get a job.
Great.
Which is sad
Amazing.
because she's also admitting that her handbag business isn't doing very well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. She's a
Too
handbag
bad.
designer.
She's famously a handbag designer. That's how they refer to her in a lot of these articles.
So why isn't she getting the money that she wants?
She wants a
She
lot,
asked
Wells.
for so much.
She asked for like 30 grand more than
Yeah.
what she
Then
was
she got
getting.
less.
And then
So
And now
how much
she's-
did she get in a month?
60,000.
You can live on $60,000 a month.
well,
But she's
her rental
paying
is 40K.
40K
Okay, so
a
then
month.
you-
Move.
And her kids
You
are.
break that lease.
Their kids have luxury in their DNA. So
That's what she said.
That's what she said. That's actually what her lawyer said.
Well, the kids are yeah. The kids are fine, I assume. Like
Right.
if they need
They still have dad.
college tuition and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Well, and the best was we covered this in our reality recap. The 40K rental, she was like kind of describing it and what is on the property. And she said, my boys have to share a bathroom and my daughter has to share her bathroom with the rest of the house. Like,
Mm.
AKA it's in the hallway.
And when
Yeah.
my guests stay in the pool house, they have to come into the main house to use the bathroom.
Oh,
Yeah.
It sounds like a shitty piece of property.
Yeah,
for
I would
$40,000
agree.
a month.
I would agree.
Come on.
What is this about Bethenny Frankel got inspo from Oprah and Diane Sawyer?
Yes, a good one. So obviously we covered Bethenny Frankel's interview with Rachel Leviss from Vanderpump Rules. So she shared some behind the scenes videos of her prep for the interview and what that looked like. So
It's
there was a
milking the
whole
fuck out of this.
there was a whole like daily schedule. It said like 9 a.m. Rachel glam, 11 a.m. Bethenny glam. And then they had their photo shoot to promo the interview in the schedule.
11:30 a.m. Fuck over Rachel.
And it literally said on the kind of schedule for the day, photos, inspo, Oprah/Diane Sawyer style. So that's what they were trying to channel.
She put that out?
Yes.
Wow.
Not to completely go on a left turn here, but have you seen all the drama with the Oprah and The Rock trying to raise money
yeah,
in Hawaii?
a little bit. Like
No.
The Rock said he donated $5 million, and then Oprah was also. But then like Oprah released a video trying to explain like why it's not going directly to.
So it's similar to I watched this great thing on Netflix about the Johnny Depp case. I'm not sure if you guys saw it. It's similar to that where like they've pledged a bunch of money. And so that doesn't mean that they've given it. But I guess the thing that everyone's upset about is that Oprah and The Rock have asked people to donate whilst being
Like, well, we pledged it.
billionaires. And then the most recent thing I saw, and this could all be wrong from TikTok, but Jason Momoa came out and was like, this isn't right. Like, you shouldn't be asking people to donate when you have all this money and all this stuff.
but they haven't actually donated.
They've pledged it.
Yeah, so I assume that they're going to. But anyways, it's not a great look for Oprah and
or The Rock.
or The Rock. I
Who are
guess.
like two of the most
Wealthy
I think like
people in
Yeah.
Hollywood.
and also I feel like just like respected people, no? I mean they're like
They have a good brand.
right?
Yeah.
They've got like a pretty good reputation and like this is very unlike their character.
It would be like if Wells.
It would be
pledged
like if
money.
Wells pledged money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I pledge money, I'd be like figures.
He was a villain on all the fucking
Yeah.
seasons.
That's what villains do.
Sarah told us about him. We didn't
Sarah
listen.
warned us. That's true.
Are we ready for texting office hours?
Yes. Okay. Well, speaking of Sarah and your guys' love stories, I have chosen a texting office hours caller that I thought would be very fitting because As we know, Natalie and Nick met via Instagram DM, and Wells and Sarah met on Twitter during the summer of 2017 while Wells was a bartender on Bachelor in Paradise. Fans quickly took note of the two flirting publicly. So,
Yes.
I think we will all enjoy this caller who has successfully slid into a DM,
Okay.
What do they
but
need our help
needs to
with?
take it
to
the next step.
Okay. All right. Base, we were just traveling. I saw a ton of base luggage out there, and let me tell you, people were noticing. It's a luxury luggage without the luxury prices. If you want to be a cool person, you got to have base. That's what I've learned on the
It's
road.
not only trendy, but it's functional too. I love their weekender bag because I get sick and tired of having to like bring a carry-on with wheels or wheel something around. Sometimes I just want to throw it over my shoulder. It looks good. I love that it has a whole compartment at the bottom just for shoes. All of the pockets on the inside make sense. I can slide my laptop in it and then it just folds shut really perfectly. You can fit so much in it. I feel like it's your Mary Poppins bag.
Well, if you're wondering why base luggage has style and taste, well, it's because it was created by actress Shay Mitchell, who apparently reeks of style and taste, to make sleek, affordable bags, luggage, and accessories designed to help you travel effortlessly while looking fashionable. So I don't know what you guys are waiting for. Base has over 30,000 five-star reviews, so you know it is reliable and great. Built-in weight indicator weight bags for your dirty clothes. That built-in weight indicator, money. So money. Just cool, sleek luggage that is reliable. Right now, Base is offering our listeners 15% off your first purchase by visiting basetravel.com/VIALL. That's BEIS travel.com/VIALL. Go to basetravel.com/VIALL for 15% off your first purchase. Again, basetravel.com/VIALL. All you city walkers out there who are often braving the inclement weather, it really sucks when you're out there. There's nothing worse than wet feet and like damp feet. You actually like walk in the city and you accidentally step in a puddle, and just having a little dampness in your feet is the worst feeling, especially if you're walking the rest of the day. Well, I've recently solved that problem because I discovered Vessi. Vessi is making really cool, stylish footwear that's waterproof. If you go to their website, you'll be amazed by the option. You just won't think they're waterproof. They don't look like not waterproof shoes, which kind of makes them great. Because usually you would think of like rubber boots and stuff like that.
Well, and the best is the variety that they have. So they not only have sneakers, but they also have slip-on options for women, like the boardwalk slip-on. They also have the weekend Chelsea, which is more of like a boot with a higher, what do you call that?
Like
higher ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you could stock up your whole closet with Vessi. Everything from your slip-ons to your sneakers to your boots.
So if you're someone out there who's constantly walking the streets and, especially when it rains out there and you're just tired of having damp, soggy feet, you gotta check out Vessi because first, your feet will be dry. Second, they're just super comfortable shoes. And they're stylish, sleek, and fun. So if you're looking to upgrade your footwear, keeping them dry and comfortable, you gotta check out Vessi.com. That's VESSI.com/VIALL to get yourself a pair today. That's VESSI.com, Vessi.com/VIALL to get the shoes that you need and want. How's it going?
Hi, I'm good. My name's Jessica and I'm 28.
How can we help, Jessica?
So I successfully slid into a podcaster's DM and don't know how to go to the next level.
Woo! We love that.
Yeah.
We love a DM slide.
Do we know this person?
Do I know this person?
Possibly.
Okay.
I think you might. I don't
Ooh.
know if the girls will.
Ooh.
Oh, great.
All right, but like, how much do you trust us? Because like we definitely won't
enough.
we definitely won't air it, but we also want to know. So she told us who it is, but you can't know.
Sorry.
All right. What do you mean by successful?
So just because like he's had a podcast, like I've followed him for like a little bit, and then kind of just like one day was like, oh, it's scary. Like we're both single. Like why not? It can't hurt. So I kind of just like slid in and we started talking. His company did like a little bit of a relocation. So where he was originally living, I was only like 30 minutes away from. So it wasn't like that big of a deal. But like he was very honest about like, hey, like I'm relocating in like 2 months. So he didn't want to like start anything, but I'm relocating due to a job. soon because of it, and it's actually closer to where he is. And now I kind of want to like shoot my shot. And like he recently was in a city that I frequent. I go to a decent amount, and he like reached out to me and was like, "Hey, do you happen to be here this weekend?" Just because like I finally like we haven't met yet, so it's like, do I even try or
Wait, he reached out to
I don't
you,
know.
or you reached
He reached out to her.
and said, "What was your
Yeah.
first message
Yeah.
to him?"
Mine to Nick was "You're unreal," so like it doesn't have it doesn't have to be that creative.
My very first one was just like in relation to the podcast
Okay.
that he
Okay.
hosts.
So he reached out to you and wanted you to come meet up with him at this other city. Did you not want to do it?
So he was there for a bachelor party. So he only like reached out once he was already there, because he was like, I didn't know like what the itinerary was going to be like. So I didn't want to ask you to come in advance if like I wasn't going to actually be able to spend time with you. But like they ended up having like a half day free. So he was like, do you just happen to be here? And I wasn't. But now that we're going to be living closer to each other.
And how long
Like,
ago was
why
that?
not?
How long ago was that? And then what happened after you were like, "Oh no, sorry, unfortunately, I'm not." Like, how long ago was that?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. And has there been any dialogue between the two of you since
Yeah.
then?
So like we pretty much like talk like almost every day, every other day.
Okay.
And then I was supposed to go actually to the city that now he lives in for a girls' trip in October, but plans have changed and I'm not doing that. So I kind of want to be like, all right, look, this trip got canceled, but I'm still willing to come out. Like, I'm okay with like getting a hotel room, like, you know, so there's not that pressure. But I don't really know if I should do it that way or like really what to do.
What are y'all talking about? Like, could you read us a couple of your messages?
Oh my god.
We
Nick.
really just like talk about, like, it's so weird. Like, we talk about like a little bit of everything.
Like it's just natural. Like y'all just have natural.
I just want to
organic
I want to hear the
conversations.
vibe. You know, I want to.
What the
Good.
vibe? You know what the vibe is because he's been wanting to meet up with her a bunch of times now,
Yeah.
and also going on a bachelor party and taking time out of a bachelor party to go hang out with someone else. That means something to me because when I'm on a bachelor party, one the unwritten rule of a bachelor party is you never
Bros before hoes.
You never go hang out with some chick. You never bring some chick back to the bachelor party. And the fact that he wants to do that means that, like, I think he's into it. That's my thought.
Well, it certainly means he's down to have sex for sure. I don't. I'm not saying that's all it means, but you could go to a bachelor party and kind of get all horned up, so
Yeah.
to speak, and not want to, you know, pay for the stripper
Yeah.
or you know, or things like that, and then think, oh, well, there's this girl I've been talking to, you know.
Yeah. So like even when I told him about like the possible girls' weekend, because I had told him that because he's like, any chance you have to be coming this way anytime soon. So when I told him that, he was like, so does this mean I'll finally be able to like get to meet you, and like will we be able to like at least grab a drink at the very least? And I was like, it's all right now TBD and like up in the air, but I'll definitely like keep you posted.
You said that to him.
Yeah.
Okay, I
So
love
now
the.
like that trip
I-
isn't happening.
Okay, you haven't updated him on the fact that the girls' trip isn't happening.
Yeah, because I don't know if I should kind of just be like, so
Are-
this trip isn't happening, but I'm still down to like come out to
Are
where
you
you are.
FaceTiming at all?
Yeah, we FaceTime more than we text, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has there
Because,
been
like, so
any sexting of any kind?
Just flirty, not like
Dirty.
full-on sexting.
No dick pic or anything.
No,
Okay.
no.
That's a good sign.
Respectable. Yeah.
There's a lot of times with like, because of his job, he's so busy that like he'll be like, hey, can you jump on like a quick FaceTime, or can I just call you? Like, it's easier than just going back and forth and texting.
And this
So
is
I'm like,
happening
okay,
almost
Aw.
every day?
maybe 3 days in between at the max, but yeah, pretty
Yeah,
consistent.
so there's
That's,
regularity.
yeah. Okay.
That's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
nothing.
And like he reaches out a lot first too.
So what is your hesitancy? Like, I'm glad you called and we're happy to help, but like, why
Mhm.
do you feel like you have to think about this or kind of overthink it?
So because like when it was like just a girls trip, it was kind of like, okay, you're already gonna be here. Let's just grab a quick drink and see if we even vibe. Now it'd be like, I don't even know you and I'm flying to a different city for you. And like I think I don't want to like come on too strong of him, like thinking like, oh, she's just gonna want to come here, stay here for a weekend, and like kind of jump into something where like I'm like, no, like that's not it. But like I don't really know how to word something like
Do
that
you-
to him. Or,
Do you already have the flight or like you still have the flight there because of the girls' trip?
no, No, so a flight was never booked. We were
Okay.
figuring out dates, and then it just didn't work out. So
Do
I
you
don't
have
anything
any
booked.
friends who live in this city?
Not really.
So
I mean,
what?
Natalie lied about like gonna go visit some friends when we
Yeah,
first met up. She's
so-
like, I have a ton of friends to visit, and I was like, sure.
Well,
So
Nick,
we,
go ahead.
You have no friends.
no, it wasn't
Yeah.
like that, but we both knew that we.
I had given him 2 weekends that we were considering, and he was like, "I'll be around this one, not the other one." So like, I kind of wanted to be like, "Okay, so we're coming here this weekend," and then just like,
You should just say,
Like,
"Hey,
I-
I'm gonna be in town this weekend. Like, would love to." Like, you don't need to necessarily give him like your itinerary and
Bachelor.
like your like what all of your plans are. Just be like, "Hey, I'm gonna be in town. Like, would love to grab a drink or dinner or whatever." And then obviously the next day, if he's free, you can be like, "Yeah, I'm free too." Like,
I don't know.
No, yeah, I disagree with that.
really?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I did to Nick.
But if,
Yeah, but it made me think you were a little sketchy.
yeah,
to be honest.
I would think the same thing if I was in this guy's shoes and she was there under the pretense of this girls' trip, and then we're hanging out every day, and I'd be like, "What's going on with this girls' trip? Like, are you not going to hang out with them at all?" And then she has to explain herself. Then that does come across as like,
I didn't want
What's
to lie.
happening?
No,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
she
yeah.
can say that the girls' trip is canceled, but then just be like, "But I'm still like gonna come to town."
Yeah, I agree. She can. I think the one lie you can tell is I already booked the flights.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's why I asked that question.
Why do we need to lie about that?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm open to any option, but I'm just curious as to
So-
why.
The reason why I'm so hesitant is because of his following. It's like I didn't want him to come on too strong, or like be like, "What's this girl up to?" Like,
He responded to you. He's reaching out to
Yeah.
you on a regular basis. You're not
it's
the
weird,
first.
though.
You're not the first girl who slid into his DMs. And I guess what I'm saying, I remember when we were, and Natalie and I were like kind of feeling each other out when we were like trying to like decide whether we wanted to meet up. But like I do remember Natalie like mentioning about like, oh, I have some friends to visit. I just remember thinking, we're playing this game, but as someone who like this person, had some was in the public eye and had a show, like I just in general, it's always makes you feel nervous when you get a sense that they're not just being fully transparent.
Yeah.
Granted, I met Natalie and she very much calmed my nerves.
Mhm.
Like once I met up with her, but I didn't know her and we had only talked. We were talking on a really regular basis. So like the best thing I think you can do is just, be honest. And you're talking every day. You're FaceTiming. I don't think it's nuts for you to be like, listen, girls' trip fell through. And then if in the same sentence or a day later, you can be like, I don't know, this sounds crazy, but like, yeah, like I know we've tried to meet up a couple times, but like I want to meet you. Like think about it. What's crazier? Actually saying to this guy who you've been talking to on a regular basis that you're willing to get on a plane, that's a couple $100 and go see him? Or is it more crazy to regularly FaceTime each other, having never met and continue to do so with no intention of ever meeting up? I think the latter is actually a little nuttier.
No, same. And I wanted a guy's perspective. That's why I'm here. Because that's exactly what I was thinking. Isn't it just crazier? Just why keep FaceTiming and everything if we're not going to put in that effort to at least make an attempt?
And again, you're not reaching out to him and say, I want to date. I would
Yeah, no.
keep it pretty casual. Sound like a fuck boy, kind of just keep it like chill. It's like, hey, I want to meet up. If you met up, would your expectation be if things go right, we'll hook up, or are you more reserved in that department?
Typically, I'm more reserved.
Okay. Have you guys talked about stuff like that?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. You do run the risk of getting on a plane and flying to seeing a guy and having the expectations, be around sex. And I think, again, confidence is always attractive. I think there's nothing wrong with saying, if you hit him up and say, listen, the girls' trip fell through, I'd still love to meet you. And he's like, you know what, honestly, if you're willing to come, I'd love to hang out. And you're like, cool. I think there's something to be said between now and when you get on the plane to say, like, setting expectations. Like, hey, you seem great, but I want to make sure, like, tell him what's not going to happen. That's fine. And if he gives you a weird vibe, then you can decide not to go, No guy worth your time is going to reach out to you on a regular basis, FaceTime you, have you come out. And even if you express some reluctance about the expectations of any type of physicality in the relationship, he's not going to be a dick if he's worth your time.
Right, exactly.
And I don't think you should overthink it. And I don't think you should try to come up with something, some story that's not going to make sense to him later and have him go, wait, I thought you said something different like a week ago.
Yeah.
You don't want to give
Right.
you don't want to give him a reason to think you're not being fully straight with him. If he's reaching out to you, there is some interest. I don't know if there's an interest more than a physical hookup. I don't know. You'll have to figure it out for yourself. But I don't think he's going to panic if you're like, yeah, I want to see you.
And if he does, then you know where you stand, right? If he's like, whoa, I don't know about that, then it's like, okay, you're wasting my time. Then I don't know why we're FaceTiming.
Yeah. It would be weird for him to say no.
Yeah.
Right. That's true.
But yeah,
It's like, why make this effort?
I agree with what Nick is saying, and just say, hey, listen, bro, like the girls trip fell through, but I was really excited to meet you, and I still have that weekend open. I was thinking maybe I should still come there and we can get a drink and hang out. Well, what do you say? And I'm sure he'll be like, hell yeah, come. And then you're going to be like, okay.
No, what you could do, you could say, hey, listen, I want to come. I'm going to book my own hotel. And, I just want to have like a fun weekend in this city and kind of set the expectations. Don't lie. Don't be like, I have a ton of people to see, but just you want to go to this city as an independent person and go have fun. And if he's available, you want to hang out with him. But don't oversell it, because if you're going to go, you want to hang out with him. You don't want to sound like you have plans so much, But I'm just saying, hey, I'm going to get a hotel room is more like that's you setting the expectation that you're not planning on crashing at his place. You're not planning on playing house for a weekend. And maybe you can make a joke. I'm going to get a hotel room because if you make it weird when I first meet you, kind of tease him, acknowledge that it might be fucking weird and he might be weird and that he might murder you or, make a joke about it, because that usually will break the ice. Like Natalie and I joked about that, where I was just like, don't murder me, and she was like, same, and like acknowledge the fact that you're two people who have never met each other and you're doing this kind of little slightly crazy thing about getting on a plane into a city of a guy you never met. Just acknowledge it. And usually when you acknowledge the awkwardness in a situation, it makes things less awkward, I have found. So what do you think she should text him? Are you going to call him or FaceTime him? Or do we think she should text this or say
I was just going to say, should I just do it like when we talk on the phone next, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Just bring it up naturally. Be like, hey, exactly what they've said. Girls trip kind of fell through, but I'm still down.
I'm sure during that conversation there will be something brought up about like how we haven't met or wanting to meet or
what if, just for fun, I just think maybe we text them and just say, girls trip fell through, but I still want to see you. And see what he says.
Do y'all text a lot, or would he be like, or is your natural form of communication FaceTime?
We text sometimes, but like if we text, it's typically like a little bit later, just because of work hours and stuff like that.
Right.
Okay.
So, but you FaceTime mainly.
Yeah, it's just easier because there is a time zone change between him and I. So sometimes it's easier just hop on a FaceTime.
I think everyone's overthinking it. I think that next time you FaceTime, because I'm sure he is probably anticipating and looking forward to this girls trip because he gets to meet you. So next time you guys are FaceTiming, I think you should just be like, yeah, so the girls trip fell through, but I still have that weekend open and I was looking forward to seeing you. What are your thoughts on me coming out there? I'm going to get my own hotel room, so don't worry about like having to put me up. But what do you think? And if he's like, yeah, I was looking forward to seeing you, then it's easy. And if he's like, I don't know, then you can be like, okay, I don't know what we're doing here. And are we just going to FaceTime forever?
That's kind of what I was thinking too, but I wanted like your guys' perspective.
I think whatever you're most comfortable with is fine. I think texting is fine. If FaceTime is a little harder, but well, I mean, people nowadays just have a hard time. It's a little more awkward. It's easier to text anything. No?
Yeah, but she says her main communication with him generally.
No, I hear you.
They're most comfortable.
If she's comfortable with it, that's
FaceTime.
great.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It's also great to do it on FaceTime because you can see his face
That's
and
true.
see how he responds.
True.
Texting, it's always ambiguous. You don't really know how.
Or you could say, "Hey, girls' trip fell through," and then see how he reacts.
True.
He could just be like, "Oh, bummer. I was looking forward to seeing you."
Yeah,
we're
but
definitely
you said confidence is attractive.
Yeah. I'm throwing out options here.
Okay.
No,
well,
I've made my decision. This is what
Yeah.
it is.
Just call him up and say, "I love you.
Yeah, basically.
No, absolutely not.
I love you. I love you so much." Well, we need an update for
Yes.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I will.
But I don't think it's crazy. I think nowadays, honestly, more and more people are meeting like this, and they're meeting in long distance situations. You know, it's this weird thing where social media and dating apps give us all this access to people. You know, you can match with them, you can sign in anyone's DM, and we might as well take advantage of that because people aren't, unfortunately, going out as much to bars or just social activities and like having the courage to walk up with someone, and people will just figure it out. You can get on a plane. The world is smaller. It's not that crazy. Everyone's doing what you're thinking about doing. So it's not, it's just not that weird. And the fact that you guys are communicating on a regular basis, it's getting to the point where it's more weird that you haven't done this yet. Give us an update.
Yeah. Good luck.
All right.
You got it.
Good.
All
Thank
right.
you guys. Thanks.
Bye. I think that is about it. Well, other than what Tom Sandoval's playing hero at their rap party. You think that was
What does
staged?
that mean?
There is this video that's floating around, and it was
Oh, I
like
saw that.
they're all
Threw the
dressed up
wine
at like
glass
some
or
like
something.
gala, a ball or whatever, and then like some fan like throws a chair or something, and here, watch this.
No,
It starts
someone,
with a wine
someone throws
glass.
a
Yeah.
wine at somebody.
And then he picks up the chair to like keep him.
This guy, that's nuts.
But by the way, have you ever watched Vanderpump Rules?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay, so Sarah recently started watching the entire thing, so I am watching it.
Yeah, we've been watching it since season 1. We went back.
Really?
We're recapping.
And a lot of people throw glasses of water and stuff at people. And that to me is crazy because that is not a normal thing.
No.
I don't know if I've ever really
I
seen
kind of
that.
want to do it though.
Yeah, but like what if you're wearing something really nice?
But
You're like,
also,
what?
this is different because it's not just the water; it's the full glass.
Yeah.
It's not even just the liquid.
but
He
they're
loses a cup.
they're obviously filming here.
Yeah.
Like this is obviously for the show.
You don't think, so you think this is staged?
Yes.
I wonder who this guy is. I mean, he gets like choked out by that guy.
But
yeah,
it
I wonder
was
who he is.
Tom Sandoval rushing to the scene.
Well, you know,
Why
Yeah,
are all
of
these
course.
flowers and things already on the ground?
they were already throwing stuff. This has already been a messy
Well,
night.
mid-fight.
Yeah.
I never thought it would be a man without socks on.
And
that
who
would
is that
be
and why is
coming
he
to
there?
the rescue.
Whoa.
Stay tuned to find out. Whoa.
Are you liking Vanderpump?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
I don't I feel bad because my manager reps like all of them. So,
I know.
so I have to like hear all the stuff that he's having to deal with.
Does your manager think he's Tom Sandoval? What's your manager think of Tom Sandoval?
He
feel like you-
he loves him. He reps him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel bad for my manager because he's like, I got to deal with. Like,
I'm busy. Yeah, I gotta go.
I'm like, okay, are you ever gonna need
Have time for me?
need to talk to me about a job or something?
Anything?
Yeah, no, I think it's good. I don't really have thoughts on it. I really don't care.
I really enjoy the show.
Well, could you imagine having a 6-inch surgical tool found inside of your body 18 months after having a C-section?
That was a
Could you imagine?
crazy turn of events.
Could you imagine though?
No, I couldn't imagine
Right?
that.
That would have. I learned this from Natalie last night. If it happens, it's the surgical technologist's fault.
Oh yeah, they didn't.
I mean, the doctor obviously takes fault with the family and whoever, but I would get in a lot of trouble because you have to count everything before.
Oh, because
bodies.
this is your job.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you have
Whoa.
to count it all before the body's completely sewed up. You do like
Bet.
3 separate counts. Of
Why are you
all the
leaving stuff in there,
instruments.
though?
What? Yeah. Like what? I don't. It was a retractor, so it's something that you use to like hold
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
body open, and I guess they just like reckless.
Have you ever seen something like that?
Normally, it's like laps or like gauze,
Yeah.
you know, that gets left in people, but I've seen it like twice. Not my cases because I'm obviously perfect. Duh. But I have like heard of it in the hospital. They'd be like, this is what's going on in this room or this OR. We got to take this lap out.
Yeah.
But a 6-inch tool, that'd be painful.
Here's my question. When you cut someone open to do a surgery, does it stop bleeding? Or is it just always bleeding?
No, you have like a
Like-
bovie, which is a cautery, and you like burn the little vessels so it stops
All around
bleeding.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're constantly using that to like stop the bleeding.
Oh,
Burning
really?
flesh
Mhm.
constantly.
And then, so then when you sew them back up, that heals and then all of a sudden they work again?
I mean, yeah, there's just also
Hopefully.
like you have so many that it's not really.
Because my thought would be like, this guy, like he won't stop bleeding. Like, how
Right,
can you
right.
see anything?
Right, yeah.
So if I cut
so-
myself, it bleeds until whatever.
Yeah, so typically, and sometimes there's so much blood you can't even see where it's coming from.
Yeah.
So you just,
So you just burn
use,
everything.
Well, you use
Blowtorch.
like tweezers, and you just pinch where you think it is, and then you put the cautery on that metal thing, and
Oh.
it just burns the entire
That's
area.
crazy.
So you're just like trying to get
What's
that
the
to
grossest thing
stop.
you've seen?
Oh my gosh.
What's something that made you go,
Like I was in a vascular surgery once, and we cut the entire leg open, and there was a bunch of holes in this one vein. So we were basically sewing
Why?
up all the holes. I don't remember his diagnosis. I don't really ever get to know that.
yeah. So he had holes in his veins.
Yes. So we had cut his entire leg open, and the surgeon handed me the end of his vein
Ah.
out of his body, and it was like pulsing. I felt like the heartbeat.
And you had to like pinch it
Just,
so it
like,
wouldn't be
hold it.
spurting blood.
I just like held it outside of and he was just like working on the other ones, and I'm just like holding his vein, and it's throbbing and pulsing, and yeah, that was pretty.
Is your vein
gnarly.
blue? Is it when you're
It's-
holding it? Is it still blue or is it red?
No, it's like a.
This is my show now.
It's like a paley color, kinda.
It is.
Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
fleshy color.
Now that
It's really
everyone's
weird.
left the show because they're all
Yeah.
grossed out.
Bye.
Speaking of gross, did you see the diarrhea plane footage?
Oh, I love. Yeah. Oh, I heard the audio.
Oh yeah, I was there.
So-
it was you.
it was me.
Yeah, yeah.
I was coming back from Joe's wedding.
Could you
I
imagine?
shit all over myself. They had to like change the carpet.
Would you ever shit in a plane? Have you shit in a plane?
I shit every
In the
time I go on a
toilet?
plane.
Really? It like stops your bowel movement.
You mean just like normal in the toilet?
Yeah.
On the
I-
No, no, no,
airplane
no, no, no.
toilet.
This particular story, he shit like all
Oh,
over.
I know,
his-
but I'm
okay.
saying is Nick's question just as simple as it sounds?
If you
I
never-
would
you've-
never.
You've never shit in a plane?
No.
How do you control it?
Yeah. What have you got?
You're basic.
My body says not here.
Yeah.
Like,
My body knows better.
This is yuck. Yuck.
Yuck.
Oh yeah, I'll shit
I
in a
don't.
plane.
I don't need to be like Sate's tyke and like no.
It's true. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't.
This person couldn't even make it to the
Like
restroom.
that would be my nightmare to walk out of the bathroom and be like, yeah, don't go in.
Could you imagine
Like,
sitting?
You can't control it. Like this person, I've shit my own pants. Like it's not controllable.
This
Yeah.
person just did this in the middle of like their seat,
I
or
think they
like
just-
the person
I
around
think they
them.
had
Like
bad fish, and I don't.
Yeah. Sometimes you shit yourself.
this.
Sometimes you
poor-
got holes in your veins.
and they had to land. That is like that person probably felt so much shame.
Sure.
Oh my god!
You probably can't
You just-
control it.
How do you recover from that though?
Do you want to hear a funny story?
Duh.
So speaking of shitting your pants, so in our house we have cameras, obviously for security reasons and stuff. But a lot of
Sexy.
it, yeah, exactly. But a lot of it's for like
Porn.
to watch the dog,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
when we're gone,
yeah,
like
for
just make sure Boo's doing okay.
Yeah.
And so Sarah's in Fiji filming Love Island, and I'm just at home, and I'm watching TV, and then I go upstairs, and I go to the bathroom, and then I get a call from Sarah, and she goes, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "What? I'm changing, and I'm about to go on a run." And she goes, "Yeah, but what were you doing?" And I was like, "Nothing." And she goes, "It looks like you were taking a dick pic on the cameras downstairs." And she was like, "So I thought I was going to get a dick pic,
and then
and then I
didn't.
didn't. So what are you doing?" And I was
Where'd
like,
the dick pic go?
Yeah.
I said, "Okay, fine. We have to do this.
No.
I have to be honest with
No.
you.
No.
I farted and I thought I shit myself. So I got up and I I was wearing shorts. And so I went like this, but I'm holding my phone and I
With the
look,
flashlight?
no, like just, I'm just holding my phone and I go like this to make sure that I hadn't shit my pants. And I hadn't, but it looks like I
You were, like,
take
yeah.
a dick pic and then I walk off. And
But that's like a weird dick pic.
yeah.
yeah,
Just
well,
like a little
well,
like
She probably was just
like
all
a
you see-
sweatpant version.
I'll show you the video. I've got it. I've got the video.
Please.
But like, so it's the video shows my back. So I'm like walking away with my phone, then I go like this.
Oh.
So you can see I'm holding my phone. Anyways, so those cameras need to leave our house.
That's love.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you have a questionable fart.
Yes.
All right, you know,
Nick
Is it-
definitely.
is it lonely in your ivory tower of perfection? You've never sharted a little bit?
I mean,
Wow.
ever? Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Or thought you had, like, you're like, oh, that's questionable.
No, one came to mind, but it's a TMI story.
All right, well,
Well,
Shared
As opposed to everything Wells is
Yeah.
just shared.
yeah.
Well,
What is
it
that?
was I was having it was a long time ago, and I was rendezvousing with
Oh, okay.
a lady.
We hate a be-in story.
What?
Mm.
We hate a be-in story.
Yeah, I had a hot dog at the airport
Well, that was your
in
first
Chicago, and I had to leave the. I went down to the hotel lobby to
Oh yeah.
like handle the situation and threw away those underwear.
Oh yeah. By the way, I'm married now, and like my wife has seen everything. She's just seen me think I shit myself on
Cameras.
the
yeah.
camera. But I still, if I know it's gonna be a bad poop, and then we're at the hotel, I will go and use like that.
That is polite.
At Joe and Serena's wedding, that poor spa bathroom.
Oh no, has seen some shit, literally.
They were like, "Oh fuck, Wells is back."
Oh yeah,
No, sir, we're closed. We're closed.
especially in New York. 'cause
You're
those,
not using the sauna.
those rooms are small in New York. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm definitely going down to the hotel lobby.
I think it's a good play.
Yeah,
That's love.
That is
You know?
love.
just courtesy.
Nick also just like we've just separate toilets.
Yeah.
You know, like I just don't even want to. I don't need to know.
Yeah, but in hotels, like you have to.
That's your
use.
only one.
Yeah,
hotel
yeah.
lobby.
yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
spa at the
Charleston
Place.
Oh, that poor
But
place.
not a fucking plane.
Not a plane. Yeah, that is terrible.
Can't control
You
it.
just can't get comfortable in that tight room, you know?
People knocking, like waiting. There's a
Just like-
line waiting for you.
The lighting in there is great.
I need to
That mirror,
decompress.
I've never looked better than I do in the.
There's nothing
shitter in
worse
the
than being rushed when you're going number 2.
I'll take my time.
That's what I'm saying. But like people
The
knocking, I just would
pressure,
be like,
yeah.
oh, the worst.
No one knocks. I can see it's not vacant.
But then you know you
I just
open that
know
door
that
and there's
people
a
are
line
waiting,
of
and I just
people
like,
waiting around the door. Oh no, that's rough.
Anyway, Wells, always a pleasure.
What a-
I'm sorry. I feel like I ruined this entire show in the last 30 minutes. Thank you for having me on. It's always good to
Always
see you
good
guys.
Please let our audience know all the great things you're doing, where they can find you, follow you, listen to you.
Social media at Wells Adams. Bachelor in Paradise starts airing on September 28th on ABC and the next day on Hulu. So go watch that. And if you want to listen to my podcast, I've got 2. One's called YFT. I do it with Brandy Cyrus. It's called Your Favorite Thing, where we talk about our favorite things. It's kind of like this, actually, where we just kind of shoot the shit. And then I do a cooking podcast with Food Network's star Tyler Florence, where we talk about food and cooking, and that's called Two Dudes in a Kitchen.
Cute. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Check all those great things out. We're back next week. Obviously, we're back to our regular schedule programming after Labor Day week, but be sure to check out Ask Nick on Mondays. We have a great episode for you on Reality Recap on Tuesday. Some of the couples from The Ultimatum will be with us. Who do we got? We got Roxanne and
Antonio and Alex and Kat.
and Alex and Kat.
Mm.
So that should be spicy and fun. We look forward to talking to them both. So a lot to get into. And then Tyler Cameron joins the show next week on Going Deeper, catching up with Tyler. We'll obviously be talking about our time on Special Forces a little bit, but really just kind of catching up with Tyler, see what he's been up to, all the great things he's been working on. It's been a while since Tyler's been on, ever since
It's before my time.
way before. It was AFR of Hannah season. So
Damn.
good to have Tyler back.
How long
So-
you been doing this?
Wow. Yeah. Also, don't forget, we got another episode of Better Date Than Never live tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. Be sure to check that out. It's wacky, fun, talking about all your wild sexcapades, escapades, dating stories, and more. Be sure to check that out. It's a lot of fun. People popping off in the chats, making friends. I don't know. You'll have fun. We'll see you there. Bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.